Okay.
Hello,
Danger.
heroes, and welcome back to the Cosmic Century Nights streams. I am James D'Amato. I am joined by a great cast of people who are going to help me make an antagonist for our upcoming streams where we're going to be doing Cosmic Century Nights gameplay. I am going to first introduce my guests. With me is Ned Donovan.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I was eating a Ritz cracker right as we came in. I didn't want that to be the first thing you heard of me.
And they didn't give us a dime for that. That is all. That's gratis to you, Ritz.
Yeah, we're really upping the Ritz cracker consumption. Hey, I'm Ned Donovan. I'm an actor, singer, producer, writer based out of New York City. Inside the tabletop role-playing game space, you might know my television show Encounter Party, available on demand for free on Tubi, Roku, and Plex. It is a 22-episode fantasy mystery thriller television show that is improvised in real time for the audience by playing Dungeons & Dragons on a soundstage. You also might know me. I run the New Jersey Web Festival, which is the world's first film festival for actual play entertainment. And outside of that, I'm a huge fan of women's soccer and walking my dog, Bugsy Mogs.
All right. And with us is TT Benjamin.
Hey, everybody. My name's TT Benjamin. It's great to be here. I'm feeling quite small time among luminaries. Inside the role-playing game space, you might know me as the host and showrunner of the Game Woven podcast, part of the One Shot Network. The Game Woven podcast is a unique actual play where we daisy chain world building games together in one single contiguous world. It's a lot of fun. We've played well over a dozen games, over 92 episodes, and we're not even close to having anything fleshed out at all. So there's still a lot of blank spaces to fill in the map. It's a blast. We're actually going to be wrapping up our first kind of full campaign and going into another one. So we're getting close to a really good time to jump in. It's probably the project I'm proudest of in the entire space. And of course, very happy to be part of the One Shot Network. I'm also a small-time game designer. I feel like right at home designing an antagonist with James and Ned. I wrote the adversary system, which is on currently available on Drive-Thru, where we play out the final confrontation with a villain in sort of a semi for the queen with combat mechanics style game. It's a lot of fun. It's a blast. So that's adversary. Outside the space, I'm a professional jazz musician. So Ned and I should talk. And really just very happy to be here.
You should talk. You should jam.
We
gotta
should
let
jam
the
out,
music do
man.
the
Let's
talking.
go.
I don't play instruments, so I hope you give good backtracks.
I don't. So, and I also enjoy walking my dog, a basset hound named Mildred.
Everyone showing off with their living dogs. Interesting. Well, folks, I am so happy to have you here. We are about to show off one of my favorite parts of the Cosmic Century Night system, which is the antagonist creation. This game has a very open world building concepts. As we got to see with Ned and Megan and Knife's characters earlier, as you build a character, it starts to inform things about the world that that character is in. We know, for instance, that there is a prophecy that Megan's character is trying to fulfill, or at least Megan's sword is trying to fulfill. We know that there are gods that Ned's sword is trying to slay. All of that comes together to give people agency over the world. And I figured when I was sitting down with Drew, figuring out how this system was going to come to be, we didn't want things to stop just at giving players agency making their characters. So the antagonist system, while it can be done individually, is intended for the entire group to sit down and make the main enemies that their characters are going to be facing. So you can establish a lot of thematic ties, and most importantly, make sure that everybody is invested in whatever threat is in front of their world. There are 3 antagonists in the core book. They are the Star Conquerors, which is a spacefaring group of aliens that wants to conquer planets, that has an empire that spans at least multiple parts of outer space, if not the galaxy. We have the Fell Knights, which are people who have Sentry Blades, but are using them for no good. So they have similar powers or access to similar powers that our protagonists do, with a little bit more thrown on top, and an evil ideology. And then we have the Blight Labyrinth, which is a parasitic extra dimension that appears as doorways on this plane and tries to tempt beings inside in order to digest them, taking aspects of their biology and culture and using it to be infused in the dimension. It's something that has devoured civilizations over its time and, of course, now threatens this world.
I mean, it sounds like an antagonist to Benjamin Maneater, who also eats beings.
Yeah. It's definitely giving people who consume beings a bad name.
This used to be a people business.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's a people-eating business. With those options, I think the ones that are most relevant to the world and knights that have been made thus far, we do know that in this setting, people are paranoid about being watched from space, which does sort of scream Star Conquerors as a potential antagonist to me. There was also talk about, with Knife's character, perhaps someone with a Sentry Blade caused like the death and destruction that sent them down the brooding path of a person who was there to defend the helpless. That screams Fell Knights to me. So I think between the Star Conquerors and the Fell Knights, Ned and Ben, what do you think you are leaning towards more?
So, I mean, my brain is on the character I just built, right? But my thought process is, if my character's sword wanted to kill gods, and maybe Benjamin Maneater doesn't have a great sense of what a god is or where to find them, he is a Sentry Knight. Therefore, other Sentry Knights make sense to him, at least conceptually. But a Star Conqueror could be, to these people, a god, whether or not that's true or not. So I feel like that would be where he would begin the look.
That makes sense to me.
I think we're actually in the same brainwave here, Ned. I was also thinking, if there are gods to be killed and there is a spacefaring empire planning to invade, there is a very high chance that they will be confused for gods in one way or another. Now, are they intentionally posing as gods, or are we imposing god-like qualities upon them just by assumption? Would be up in the air to me.
I mean, we have made a lot of assumptions thus far. These characters are pretty hefty. We made a whole system of ranking of swords based on arbitrary mechanics, which suggests that this is an assuming culture.
Yeah. You know what happens when you assume? You make the best of what you can with what you know, and you can only ever be expected to do that. It's a longer saying. It's not as pithy, but it does communicate things.
There's an old Barats and Beretta sketch that ends in, you know what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of me, and you make more money. and I always, that's what I hear.
Time is money, and assuming things saves you time. I think, then, we are going to go ahead and make our Star Conquerors. And to get started, we are going to figure out their aesthetics. For each of these categories, y'all are going to be able to choose 2, which means Ned will choose one, Ben will choose the other. And the first are the aesthetics around their appearance. Your options are luminescent, metallic, neon, umbral, sparkling, lensed, blurred, shifting, slimy, or ultraviolet?
Can you define umbral for me?
Umbral would be like dark and shadowy.
Oh, yeah, it's not that. Um, well, if they are star conquerors who are being assumed to be gods,
Mm-hmm.
then I think my instinct is either that they're like cut like the neon really captured my brain,
Ooh,
right? They're
sure.
like bright in an unnatural way, but in a way that interacts with the natural world in sort of an odd way. But I also was thinking about shifting, lensed, or unfocused. Like there's something interesting about beings that exist in liminal space differently than our eye perceives said
Yeah.
space, which would suggest that they are beings of at least a different dimension or a side dimension.
Sure.
If you're talking like kind of a neon or an unnatural sort of color spectrum that these people occupy, I was also thinking lensing because it might be that they literally have a prismatic effect that bends the light in a certain way and shows their colors like it's not like the colors you see when you see them are not the colors that they actually are. The
Totally.
color, yeah, what you're seeing is the way they displace light into your visual spectrum.
It like does to the eyeball what those glasses for people who are colorblind that allows them to see color again does.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
it's just the way that light bounces off their bodies that has that effect. So they
And
almost appear sharper and more colorful than the
yeah,
world around them.
but if you like two people can be looking at one, like you can be looking at one straight on, and someone can be 90 degrees off of them, basically looking perpendicular, and they will look completely different, like
Totally.
shape wise.
Totally.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that. And terrifying. Like
Terrifying.
truly
Yeah.
horrible and terrifying in the worst ways. I think then we're going to move on to silhouette here. The options that you have are crustacean, insectoid, cephalopodal, mammalian, avian, reptilian, fungal, mechanical, ethereal, amorphous, flawless, and sterile.
Okay, I know there's an obvious answer,
There is an obvious answer,
but
and
when
therefore we have to run from it.
yes, we have to avoid it. When James said avian, my heart leapt.
Oh,
Ooh.
great.
Yeah, I don't know why. It just did.
My brain had my reaction was to flawless because then I started thinking of prisms like diamonds. And then
Mhm.
I was like, what if their shape is flawless diamond like? But I actually like avian because the idea of a shifting bird like creature that doesn't look the same color wise or shape wise, depending on how you perceive it and from what angle, horrifies me deeply.
Well, and
Yeah.
it could be like, oh, go ahead, James.
No, I was going to say, I don't know if anyone saw those early AI videos of like taken from like Birds of Paradise,
Mhm.
where they're like, it doesn't quite understand what's happening and it's like changing between different birds as it's filming, as it's doing its little dance. That is
Yeah.
really freaky to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you account for just the wide possibilities of bird shapes, like that is a body type that has a lot of different things that it can do. And if it's doing all of them at once, potentially, like that's really uncanny.
And who's to say this creature only has two wings? That's just how we
Yeah.
perceive them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now we come down to their danger. For this, we're just choosing one here. And we've got sharp, toxic, hulking, smothering, swarming, venomous, psychic, and consuming.
Well, when I think of birds, while there are plenty of birds of prey that do their thing alone, I often think of like murmuration and like flocks of birds. And so in doing so, swarming seems horrifying to me.
Sure. I love that. All right. So now we are going to come to their aspects. Similar to characters, aspects define a couple like very key important things that makes up this antagonist. The aspects, unlike characters, we're going to rank them in order of favorable to PCs and unfavorable to PCs. So the closer you are to 5 in your ranking, that will be the most favorable. That will provide you with the most opportunities and ways to strike against them. And the closer you get to 1, it will be unfavorable. That will make them more uncanny, more inhuman, and impossible to comprehend. Each ranking, you're going to rank between 1 and from 5 to 1 without repeating any numbers. So 1 will always have 1 rank, and that will be locked off. The various aspects are connection to blades. How connected are the Star Conquerors to the Century Blades? Interest in planet. That is, how much do they care about this specific planet in their galactic conquest? Coherence. How similar is their thought to human thought? And how similar are their motivations to human motivations? Intent. How bad is their intent for the world? Do they mean harm, or is harm just sort of a consequence of their presence? And form. How recognizable and understandable is their physical form?
Now my brain started to think that avian is simply how we perceive them. Like if they hit a different planet, they don't look like birds at all.
Ooh.
The lensing sort of refracts into the way our brains interpret beings in space.
That's
Like
very cool.
It's not like they have things that we describe as wings and a shape that we describe as avian, but there's probably like 30% of that is our brains filling it in.
Yeah. I do like that.
I think there's also something, right when you said it, my brain went, oh, well, I want to explore that. If the swords came to this planet because, a giant sword pierced the planet and split into a bunch of swords 300 years ago, right? I don't think these people have any connection to blades.
No.
Right? I think that's the lowest possible, unless they're chasing the blades, right? Blades hit a planet and they come soon after is an interesting vibe, right? They are hunting blades is the opposite. Then their connection to blades is very high. But part of me said, what if the blades are specific to this planet and these things are entirely different altogether?
I always love when there's a sort of an unstoppable, kind of an unstoppable, otherworldly, incomprehensible villain that has so far been just conquering everything in its path, and it just happens to hit the special protagonist planet.
Yeah, sure.
Who just happens to have the one thing that can beat it,
Totally.
just out of pure luck.
Yeah,
it's very just cosmic levels of fortune.
All right.
We might argue for days on the other ones, but I really like that connection to the blades is their weakness.
Okay.
Got it.
So that would be
the 1.
A 1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So that leaves us with 2 through 5 for the rest. So I think form, because of the way we built their description, should be the 2. Because they don't have a form that we can recognize, right? The way we perceive them, we are interpreting them as birds, but their form is something.
Can I walk back one really quick? I had meant to say that the blades the blades should be a 5, not a 1, right?
Well, so the idea is, are they chasing blades and therefore have a high connection to them, or are they not chasing blades and therefore it's a 1?
Yeah.
I think the blades are a surprise. They're like,
So
okay,
then-
just another
So, yeah,
planet,
that's a
and then
one.
it's like,
That's a 1. They have
translate.
no connection to blades.
right, okay, got it.
For me, form would be the 2 then. Because I think we're saying these lensed creatures that look differently depending on the angle you look at them don't really hold a form.
I like that.
And I think they do have a form, just in however they interpret space. But we don't interpret space that way.
Right.
So 3 through 5, we've got interest, coherence, and intent.
I don't. So what I would like is for them to have just enough overlap with the way we think that you can have a conversation with them.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's not like Lovecraftian.
Totally. I was almost
Yeah.
thinking coherence was the 5, that we can converse normally.
Mm.
Yeah, a coherence at 5 would give them basically human intelligence. It would basically be like another country, but they're from space.
Right.
Or they might just be able to like communicate what they are and what they think. Like they might still have like an alien morality system and an ethical system and a view on the world, but they can put it into words that we would understand, and we can it's like, yeah.
For the, like, it gets more alien the lower the number gets. So
Right.
So maybe we give it a 4 so that there's still a little bit of a difference from us.
I'd like a 4. I feel a 4 there.
All right, so then we've got 3 and 5 for intent and interest.
Well, these swords are interesting, James. I don't know that they came here with interest, but they might have gained some interest.
So this is interest in the planet. It might have nothing to do with the swords
like
themselves.
ecologically.
Yeah, there might be something here that is native to this planet. They're like, oh, we need to conquer that planet.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
And the higher it is, the less interested they are in the planet.
The less interested they are in the planet.
Because that is favorable to you.
Got it. So we're either saying they have very little interest in the planet, they're just here,
Mm-hmm.
or we're giving it a 3 and it's sort of in the middle, which would then make a 5 their intent is brutal.
5 would be their intent is the least brutal.
Oh,
Right.
so their intent is to just like potentially just like come here and conquer, but it's not that they're killing us on purpose. It's that we went to war with them before we could talk.
Yeah, it could very well be something like that.
They showed up and we were like, nah, son.
I have kind of a thought. What
hit me.
if the reason they are conquerors, like the reason that they are sort of like interstellar conquerors, is that part of what they need as a civilization is they actually drain the light from the sun. It takes a long time. And so like they're sort of, and we're just sort of the next on their path. So like if they are allowed to come in, like it's a very slow death. So if they're allowed to come in and take over or just like hang out, eventually in a few generations the solar system will be drained of light. So like it is not an immediate threat on the people that are living right now, but it is something that is maybe 100 or 200 years down the line.
So I've just had sort of a trippy thought in thinking about the lensing of the form of these creatures. Lenses require light to perceive, right? That's the whole point of a prism. So they might take form the less light that hits them. So in the evening time or the nighttime, you can perceive them as they truly are easier. There's still light, but it's more shadow based. You can catch a form silhouette easier, but therefore a couple generations from now, the way we perceive them is going to be completely changed because there will be less light refracting across their being.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
then they're pretty interested in the planet, and their intent is not that bad to us at all. But it does have an indirect consequence pretty hard.
All right.
Yeah.
I will read the results of our choices here. For connection to blades at 1, the Star Conquerors have never encountered the Century Blades before.
Perfect.
Even with their sprawling empire, the origin of the Cosmic Blade is a mystery.
Yeah, that's right.
Interest, let's go in order. So we get to form at 2. Star Conquerors have physical forms, but strange or impossible physiology.
Yep.
They move like bacteria, spread like fungus, or are held together by elemental and magical means. Whether they are intelligently designed or natural beings, they challenge everything this world knows about life. That is spot on to what you were describing.
Nailed it.
So far, we are crushing this, Ned.
TT Benjamin, let's go.
Let's go.
Interest, this world is considered unremarkable by the Legion. If you have resources valuable to them or present any kind of threat, they don't really know yet. So, they might consume light and they don't know how useful this planet is for that process.
Yeah, the planet itself doesn't matter. It's just a place to stand and absorb light.
Yeah. And for coherence at 4, Star Conquerors have motivations and communications similar to denizens of this world, but they have they are distinct in starkly alien ways. They lack key emotions, and their motivations for conquest are strange or escalated.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We're nailing it.
Intent at 5, I think, is the most interesting, not in terms of stuff that you've already come up with, which is the Star Conquerors offer a kind of fey enlightenment. They wish to uplift this world to new psychic and spiritual heights.
Yo, that's a god my sword wants to kill.
Yeah, that may not be a peaceful or desirable transition, but it is not rooted in malice.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think
this
they
is
came
incredible.
to this. Yeah, I think that's right on the money.
Yeah, James, I gotta say, man, holy crap, that is so cool.
I mean, so much of this were like ideas that you sketched out, and you were just aiming for where you ended up, which is great. But now we get a chance to answer a couple questions and flesh them out a little bit more.
Sick.
Yes.
And the questions are, I'm rolling a D20 here for the first one. That is a 50. Oh, well, I shouldn't have rolled a D20. I should have rolled a D12. Hold on.
Who wrote this game?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Okay, that's a 2. Are the Star Conquerors known as a threat at this time? What historical calamity are they responsible for? And what has sheltered this planet from full conquest until now?
Option number, first question. Are they known as a threat?
Yes.
Hell yeah. But like, I would almost argue we chose them to be a threat before they ever threatened. We were like, they arrived and we went, that ain't natural. Kill it.
We made an assumption.
Correct.
And we followed through vis-a-vis with violence.
And by the way, it turns out that we were right. Go us. What historical event did they cause?
Yeah, what
I'm
historical
gonna pick this
calamity?
one up.
Yeah.
I think very early on, they like when they got here, they did the whole "we come in peace" thing. We bring you spiritual enlightenment, and like their landing party, like their initial sort of like offering team, got completely wiped out. I think just, and so I think there was a swift retribution, and I think they did something like bathe the world in darkness for one whole season, which led to widespread crop failures and like other sorts of really bad things.
What
and they're like, hey,
it was just happened to like one kingdom, like an Atlantis type. They approach the most powerful and advanced civilization on the surface of the planet, offering enlightenment.
And they're like, our enlightenment is we take your light.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're rejected and murdered, and then they just completely encase this entire civilization in darkness for like 100 years, and it only like for a long time it's just like, oh, we don't go there, that's the darkness zone, and it ends one day, and then you have people going there and like sifting through the remains of this civilization that died in darkness.
What how long, right, so 300 years ago a sword pierced the earth and left us with a bunch of swords. Give me a time frame after that these Star Conquerors
you think it's
arrived.
After? I kind of think this first appearance sounds like it's before the century.
Oh,
my vote is also
almost
before.
the swords arrived and that became our like safety valve.
Like probably like here's the thing, like this happened like more or less to like the Roman Empire or whatever. So the rest of the world is like going on and whatnot, and Rome falls not because of political instability and corruption, but because the entire world around them is just dark for 100 years. And then it like pops out of existence, people start like doing archaeology and figuring out what Rome was about and how all of it ended. And then sometime after that, a sword falls from the sky and messes things up even more.
I love that. Also, my brain says, like, what if the sword hit the darkened kingdom? You know what I mean? Like, so now we almost think that they're responsible for the swords, and this is us saying they are unconnected
Ooh,
events.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they
just-
also think we did that.
Correct. Like, both beings are like, holy crap.
This is an escalation.
Yeah.
I really like the cosmic blade comes down and ends the darkness. That is so sick.
That also creates just like a really cool mega dungeon. That is just like ripe for sending in adventurers to go dig around and do
Go
stuff.
find a blade.
Yeah.
And it means that like, so in a lot of settings, people come up with Bladefall, which is like a city that pops up around where the cosmic blade struck down. But that would take a long time. It would probably be like at least 100 years into the Century Blades being here for that to even happen, because
Totally.
a world that was like all in darkness would be a frozen hellscape for a while, and then that would have to mellow out, and then eventually like they build up something around. So like Bladefall could even be a very recent city with still a lot of unexplored ruins around it.
Totally.
Yeah, it would be something like a boom town. Because like,
it's basically a mining boom.
Yeah, because it's literally like adventuring prospectors going, and it's like a dungeon meshy where they've got all of the infrastructure around the mega dungeon that people explore.
Yeah, that's so cool.
That's bonkers. I also just love the idea that they're unconnected events that inexplicably intertwine.
I do think the Cosmic Blade landing did stop whatever
I
they
agree.
had done for the darkness, but like, yeah, it's we didn't cause the Cosmic Blade to be here, and it may even be what ultimately alerted the Star Conquerors that like, hey, this place is back on the map because we've done something.
Yeah.
And like the Star Conquerors are going to think that the beings of this planet did this, and
Correct.
we're going to think that somehow the Star Conquerors did that. Like, there's just so much mystery for both sides.
Yeah.
And
good.
this incredible tension as well, because they would probably prefer not to fight, because they're, from what we've sort of done with our priorities here, like they're pretty fragile. We can kill them, and they know it.
Well, I don't know if they're fragile, but like, because we will determine them as a tough force soon, but like they at least they're not a warlike species. They just do something that inevitably causes planets to collapse.
Like conqueror is almost a misnomer in terms of intent. They aren't coming here to like take over and subject us. It's a resource, right? They're a resource gathering crew. It's just that the resource they're gathering will kill us.
I mean, when we think of it in terms of like other analogous things, it's not unlike Christian missionaries where nominally they're not here to conquer and kill everybody, but that is inevitably what they are doing.
It's a result.
Yeah. I will ask Ben, because you haven't had a chance to roll anything yet. Could you roll a D12 for our next world building question?
Oh, you know it. If I had one.
Crazy
One
if
second.
T.T. Benjamin said no.
Yeah.
No. I don't roll dice.
No.
I am table.
I got a 12,
Benjamin.
baby.
Oh, okay. 12?
I got a 1-2.
Okay. What qualities, apart from strength, do Star Conquerors respect in beings outside their own species?
Ooh.
Does this respect change how they approach to dealing with these beings?
Okay. Hear me out. How close to Earth is this planet we're creating?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, like we have no idea. I was kind of seeing them as like extra dimensional in some way, but like Star Conquerors could have a pretty far-reaching empire.
Like, what if the thing that they respect about this place, that is unique to this place, which is crazy in the way that we all consider fauna and flora, is photosynthesis, right?
Oh,
Okay.
Because they eat light, and they've never met anything else that does this,
wow, that's so cool.
right? And so it's not the beings that they respect, it's the ecosystem.
It's a bit like that old joke where the aliens come to Earth and they're like, "Oh yeah, we love all of you. Like, we love the people of Earth. They're so wonderful and loyal and happy, and they're just like really good friends and they're great." And then they meet a human and they're like, "You're not what we thought at all." It turns out they were thinking of dogs.
Yeah,
they
sure.
came to Earth, they met a dog, and they're like, "Yes, perfect Earthling."
Sick.
Like,
All in. Yeah.
I like this too because like plant folk is like an absolutely a possible thing to get within births, and also humans have their own way of gathering nutrients from the sun. We get our
100%.
vitamin D that way. So like,
mm-hmm.
I do think it's like the more like the more you are able to synthesize light into energy, the greater their respect, or the more seriously they take you.
Yeah. I think that's exactly right. Like, I think they are a being that eats sun and they can't even contemplate using sun. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's where my brain goes.
Yeah. I like that a lot. And we get to our last question. Ned, could you roll a d12?
I have a 10.
A 10. What thing from the stars do the Star Conquerors fear? What presence does it have here? Where is it hidden, and why is it hard to reach?
Can it be the sword that pierced the planet?
It can be the Cosmic Blade, absolutely.
Because that for sure came from the stars.
Yeah.
Right? How does that
Definitely.
feel to you, TT Benjamin?
I'm trying to piece together something in my head, because I would go with the blade. They would fear it now, but I'm trying to think of something more natural and like existential that they might fear. So they might fear the blade now because it's already causing this planet that they kind of need to be able to resist them more effectively. I'm wondering if they are extreme. So we've already established they value beings with a relationship to light. It could also be that one of the things that they fear most is they have a severe superstition around astrology. So eclipses, constellations,
What about
like
nocturnal
all of this,
creatures?
Yeah, maybe there's like a nocturnal creature thing. Maybe like cave creatures that like evolve to like exist in caves are like really terrifying.
Yeah, what do they think about bioluminescence?
Something
What
that
do
creates
they
its
think about
own
bioluminescence?
light.
Emits
Oh,
light.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's an interesting comment all in of itself, right? Like, this is light we can't eat. In the same way that, like, if they eat all the light on this planet and things that need the light go away, there could still be some lightless things that walk around on the planet.
Additionally, they're also afraid of oceans because there are things in oceans that do not need light, and they rarely encounter planets with like full big sweeping oceans.
This
But
sort of
when
comes
they do, they're like really careful around them because they don't know what's down there and they have no way of actually figuring it out.
And taking us back to the last stream, James, where we said the underwater cultures were what benefited from the arrival of the blade.
Yeah.
Like, that all sort of aligns in the same space of like these beings that may or may not have evolved with or without light usage are coming up with blades and taking control of a planet that this Star Conquerors are trying to have.
Yeah.
And then there's the land-dwelling people who are very much caught in the middle of this situation.
Yeah, they're just here.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. Then we are going to choose 2 abilities for them.
Okay.
You each get to pick one here. We've got Swarming. Star Conquerors enhance their impact dice when they outnumber their opponents. Parasitic. Spend 1. Star Conquerors can corrupt NPCs defeated by PC. Can corrupt NPCs and defeated PCs to add to their legions.
Jesus.
Any injury from them leaves a poison effect that grows by 1d4 a day. Once a creature dies, it joins the legion. Mass Destruction. Star Conquerors have technology or magic capable of untold devastation. Lords and groups of captains can guarantee annihilation within a specific area if they complete a ritual or use a complicated device, utterly destroying 1d6 mile radius when they have access to resource. To activate this destruction, they must hit a threshold of 20 on impact using their intelligence dice to prepare it. They may only roll to prepare once per hour. Star Conquerors can only activate mass destruction once per day. Impervious. Star Conquerors are protected by shielding, armor, or physiology that resists most physical harm, giving them +2 to their defense. Tactical. Star Conquerors have a terrifying intelligence for violence and conquest. When they initiate an attack, they roll 2 control dice and take the higher result until the scenario has significantly diverted from their plan. Psionics. Soldiers, lords, and terrors can use the power of their minds to move physical objects, interacting with other beings on a psychic plane. This grants them new methods of attack ranging from D8 to D12 control, depending on the context.
2 of them jumped at me.
Oh, extremely obvious. 2 of them.
Hit me with your 2. I think we're aligned on at least one.
Swarming and mass destruction.
Yo,
were
that's
my
it
2.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the 2.
Those are the 2.
Yeah.
Because mass destruction is what they did.
Yeah,
That's what they
already
did.
shown they did this.
Yeah, they used the light and they mass destructed using some ritual or device that we don't know or understand and wrecked this place.
And I think that's like the absolute like peak maximum elevation of destruction that they are capable of. I think they might also have smaller, more acute once per day versions of destruction. Like they could maybe potentially do the opposite of bathing a civilization in darkness. I'm thinking they create a swarm in the heavens that eventually turns into a perfect lens and magnifies the sun's rays to literally be an orbital laser.
Oh,
so like
yeah.
when I was thinking about swarming, the thing that stressed me out is if we're saying that the forms that we can perceive, because they just exist in a dimensional plane we don't quite comprehend, changes based on the way in which you're perceiving the light that bounces off them, right? They're lensed in that way. What happens when they swarm and the light is bouncing off each other? Like, that's going to refract shit into nightmare realms.
Yeah.
And so for me, the swarming was always, absolutely, was like, if there's 5 of them in a space, now I'm trying to see past them and light's refracting weird and everything shifts and changes focus. Like, a swarm of them is going to completely change the way my brain comprehends light and form itself.
Throwing another log on that fire, it could be that their relationship with our dimension is just so herky-jerky that, like, from their perception, there's 3 of them. From our perception, there are 30 of them. And we have to fight them part by part by part.
That's
cool. That is fun.
Like a JRPG boss battle. We've got to fight
you have to, like, attack
of
the
Genova.
limbs.
Well, and like to find them, you're almost chasing what looks wrong. It's not that they're invisible, it's that light doesn't interact with them the way we expect. So like, it's almost like a camouflage in some ways. Like we see them as these bird creatures, but we also like, if to our side something is shifting incorrectly, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially if you're fighting them in daylight. If you're fighting them at night, it's actually much easier.
It's way
easier. That's a significant weakness.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, it is time for us to assign them a weakness. Our options for this are elemental. There is an elemental force that nullifies the armor of Star Conquerors. When attacking with this element, remove any extra armor from their defense and subtract 1 from their total defense score.
Okay.
Environmental. There are atmospheric conditions that greatly aggrieve Star Conquerors. All attacks made in these conditions have upgraded impact. Provocation. Due to pride, ideology, or instinct, Star Conquerors can be goaded into impulsive attacks or hasty retreats if met with a specific threat or temptation. Collective. Star Conquerors operate better when in close proximity to their commanders. If soldiers and drones are alone, downgrade their dice for tasks outside their borders.
I mean, I think it's environmental, right?
That's the one that makes the most sense to me.
Because we're saying time of day matters.
Yeah. Or
So,
luminescence. Like if you are in, say, like a castle and you douse all of the light sources in the castle and there's nothing coming in from outside, that's pretty dark too. And
if you make them chase you into a cave, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the trap, is take away their light so you can
Yeah.
perceive their form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think environmental's right, and it becomes a thing you can affect. Like the environment as a whole, nighttime, dusk, dawn, those are all better times to be out and about and fighting these things. But then additionally, creating the opportunity to have an advantage in battle is a tactic. It's how do we bring darkness into this equation? How do we get them to chase us here? And in the same breath, they try to avoid us when it's not daytime.
And then at the same time, how do we ourselves fight in darkness?
Totally.
Sure.
We can't bring light into the equation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
What
great.
you got to do is you got to get into a triple max facility, and then you got to pay someone 2 cartons of cigarettes and a bottle of whiskey to get a shine job on your eyes.
Yeah. Or you need like really cool night vision goggles.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We are going to now define some details about them. And the first is an antagonist relationship. The Star Conquerors have faced one of the other antagonists in their galaxy-spanning campaign for domination. This defines how they perceive and engage with potential rivals. So the 2 options that we have are the Fell Knights or the Blight Labyrinth. You can either decide now, or we can define their history and behavior and then assign it to whichever of those we feel is most appropriate.
My call is Blight Labyrinth, and I want to explain the very complicated relationship that I see. So the Blight Labyrinth absorbs, like it also is here to devour.
Sure.
But if it is controlled, if it is contained, if they are able to manage it almost like a well-managed invasive species or like something disruptive, it can actually help them get rid of problems with their own thing that they're trying to devour. It can sort of clear out resistance.
Oh, okay. You see a potentially symbiotic relationship between the Star Conquerors and Blight Labyrinth.
But doing that is also playing with fire. And so it's always controversial if the Blight Labyrinth is present, whether or not they're going to try to take advantage of it or not. It's very high risk, high reward for them. And there is often internal tension about whether it is ethical to take advantage of this thing that's here, and be potentially self-destructive to their own ends.
All right. So let's start defining their history. You choose 2, so you each get to choose 1. They have encountered this antagonist on other worlds. They have an ideological or instinctual aversion to this antagonist. They have faced this antagonist before on this world. Their aversion is grounded in fear, or their aversion is grounded in respect.
Is it possible that wherever the Star Conquerors go, so also is the like they bring it with them?
Ooh, yeah. If they're like kind of extra dimensional beings, that weakens the border between dimensions enough for the blight labyrinth.
It's like a disease that seeps in the cracks between dimensions.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's not necessarily symbiotic. I don't think they necessarily want this to be the result, and yet the result it is. It might
Indeed.
even be the case, if you want to have a longer form campaign, that really the goal of the Star Conquerors is to get back to their own dimension, right? They're stuck in a dimension that the only way that they've found to hold on is this light eating, but it brings the blight with them. If they could just get back to their own dimension, this problem would be solved for everybody.
I do like this.
That introduces the opportunity for so many interpersonal conflicts. Like you could meet one Star Conqueror, like general or captain, who is like, we're going to use the blight to cleanse this place. And then you have another one who's like, you have to help us control this blight. We hate it too. Help us get back to our dimension. Like,
Yeah.
Also, I want you to know, Ben, that the way that your mic is framed in your box, it looked like something over your shoulder and behind you and not a microphone at all. And you just leaned to the side and it covered your face for the first time, and it stressed me out so hard. My perception of your room changed.
That is because of
immediately.
the way my form refracts light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so are we saying the other part of their history then is their aversion is grounded in respect, or they have an ideological or instinctual aversion? Because like,
I think it's instinctual, because I think it is bleeding in between the dimensions. And if they are beings that have traveled dimensions, then this is something that they've felt and feared before.
sure.
You know? I think instinctively the blight is a huge problem for them.
Then we come down to behavior. Once again, choosing two. They will engage this antagonist preferentially. They will make efforts to avoid contact. They consider this antagonist their only legitimate concern on this world apart from the blades. They have weapons designed to battle the antagonist specifically, or they will create alliances to deal with this antagonist if necessary.
I think they definitely have weapons.
We both started nodding when we got that prompt. We were
They
both like, yeah,
for
this is
sure
it.
have blight weapons.
Oh yeah. And they
Also,
have...
it's just really funny that blight and light share almost all the same letters, and we can find fun ways to interact with that over time.
True. And I think they have ways of like they can open things up, and they can kind of hurt it just a little bit. Like part of their arsenal of weapons is destructive. Part of it is actually like redirective.
And did you say we have to pick two, or we choose one?
You each choose one, or, the collective picks two.
So I also think in the world that we've been talking about, the blades changed everything. It undid the darkness. It introduced beings that can fight them again, right? So I think they consider this antagonist their only legitimate concern on this world, apart from the blades, I think the blades are what's new. Every planet they go to, the only concern they ever have is the damn blight. The blades is like a whole wrench in their plan.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the physical design of soldiers and lords, which are within the forces of the Star Conquerors? Those are classes of creature. What about the design of soldiers and lords lets us know that they expect to face the Blight Labyrinth?
So the Blight Labyrinth brings blight how?
So it is a parasitic extra dimension that basically creates doorways to dungeons and lures beings inside with offering treasure or whatever. And when you get in, it tries to keep you there and digest you. Learning about your history, your biology, whatever, and it adds that to its sort of genetic makeup and then spits it out to try and get more things in.
So it, in some ways, is an ally to the knights because it can trap them in places without light.
Certainly it could be. But it also wants you to be inside.
Totally.
Right,
it's like a thing you have to choose to put yourself in danger for the sake of taking down the thing that's causing you more danger.
Whole lot of playing with fire here, like really dancing with the devil. I think when they know they're going to be dealing with the blight, and specifically when they know that they're going to go into one of these dungeons, they actually will link their entire team together with these surprisingly coherent prismatic chains that they wear along themselves. They drape across their bodies and then connect them literally to each other, and then they will leave an anchor person outside who will communicate with them
and try to yank them out.
Yeah, through like a kind of chain Morse code. And if there's a problem, they'll just start pulling and try to like literally pull them out of the blight if it's that bad.
That's so cool.
That's fun. It's also fun then to imagine, just like in terms of scenario design, that you're just walking through the woods and you come across one Star Conqueror holding a chain into a blight. You don't know how many are in there.
Yeah.
There could be 30. Or do you try and push the anchor guy in?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to go. Do we take advantage of the situation to try and take them down now? Or do we not cause problems knowing that, oh, there's an entire fucking platoon of them?
Correct. Yeah.
And moreover, what are we more afraid of? A Star Conqueror team who might be trying to destroy this blight that we are also worried about.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how much worse could it be if the Labyrinth does get these Star Conqueror soldiers? What is it going to turn them into? Like, does the Blight Labyrinth compete for sustenance, resources, or both?
Well, we're saying they interact with different resources, right? Maybe symbiotic resources in that what the blight eats is given life by light, but they are technically separate resources that are both competing for the same planet.
Yes.
Which sucks for the knights.
There's just so many people caught in the middle.
We have two damn conquerors conquering very different things here.
All right, so it seems like resources. Excellent. Okay. I think the thing that we need to define next is resource. Star Conquerors are interested in acquiring a specific resource that is present on this world.
Sure.
And we're going to define it first by choosing things about its availability. Once again, choose two. So that's either each of you choosing one or the collective choosing two. This is generally considered rare, precious, or hard to attain. This substance is common for certain professions or social classes. This substance is finite and non-renewable. This substance is very well known or studied, and this substance is found near or far from most settlements.
Well, if we're saying the resource is light, then it's ubiquitous in many ways.
Well, it doesn't have to be light. This could be another thing that Star Conquerors are also.
I am tempted to introduce another thing that they would like that is maybe supplementary to their work, or maybe it's just something they personally find desirable.
What? It should be something that plays with their greater concept here. It should be something very daylight focused because they don't like the nighttime, but maybe then that it's something they can only seek at night, which becomes a danger to them.
Now we're talking.
Right?
Yeah.
What's a resource that they can only go after at night? So then I think it should be the far option of the last list, right? It's something they have to explore for. It's something they have to mine. It's something they have to seek.
Okay, yeah. So is it most commonly found near settlements or far from settlements?
Let's say near, because it creates inherent conflict, even if conflict wasn't the purpose of the visit.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So near settlements, well, we should assume settlements are being put near things that bring life, i.e. we're talking water sources, i.e. we're talking shelter, right? Like we're staying away from volcanoes, right? Like we're saying near. So then the resources, I mean, what if it's just fresh water?
Okay.
Could be.
Then I guess well-known or studied would be the other one.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there something more interesting than fresh water?
So freshwater is interesting to me because what if the reason they have to collect it at night is because that is the only time when they're actually coherent enough to be able to actually like
Grasp
hold
it.
it or handle the object.
Their form is
carry water.
literally amorphous, not just the way we perceive it, but it actually is refracted in the daylight.
Well, I'm thinking like if it's night, like so maybe water just has a unique property for them where like if you are like you've dipped an object in water and it creates a refraction effect. Maybe the same thing happens to them and it's extremely painful. But at night it doesn't do that.
There's less light affecting the water, therefore they can collect it, but it's also when they're at a weaker state.
Yeah.
Great.
And they have to go near civilization to do it. So it's
yeah,
huge risk.
Well-known or studied feels so
well-known or studied for sure.
Right
oh, absolutely.
for this.
Yeah.
All right, then we're going to go with properties because, and this might dig down on a specific kind of water and whatnot. This substance is considered unstable or toxic. This substance has inherent magical properties. This substance reacts to different stimuli. This substance can easily change between states of matter, and this substance possesses a will or intelligence of its own.
Well, it's not unstable or toxic.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Inherent magical properties is interesting, especially if we define magical as dimensional, meaning like it's magical to them, it's
But not to
commonplace to us.
Oh.
Which is interesting. It can easily change between states of matter.
Yeah, that is
it's
true.
It's kind of the example.
It's kind of water. That's the thing it does. Okay, so I love the idea of it is magical specifically to them, but we find it unremarkable.
That's
There is-
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
There is something about it, like, okay, so the refractive property of it, like, can cause pain, but they can also use it for like healing.
Oh,
So
Well, and maybe
let's-
like they're similar to us in the sense of like we said that their coherence is similar to ours, even if their form is different. Like perhaps water and liquid in whatever form they understand it to be is inherently salinated, which is like the fresh is the thing
Yeah.
that they can't fathom here.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they like the freshness of it. They like the purity of it. I mean, they might use it in their own rituals.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
obviously, like, we use water as part of like building magic potions or like
Totally.
what other sort of magic things. They also do that, but it is rarer for them on their journeys.
Oh, I'm going to throw a new thing in that's just like, why am I making these guys sympathetic? Doesn't matter.
Love that.
There's something inherently fun that they view the act of cooking as a magic ritual. Like their sustenance is not food based.
Yeah.
So the idea that we're taking this fresh water and making soups and broths and washing food before we cook it, like whatever it is just they view it as like conducting ritual.
The fact
Right.
that water is part of the bodies of like
Yeah.
most beings on this world has also got to be crazy.
Yeah,
for them.
100%.
And in addition, they're also really, really like obsessed with the beings that have a relationship to light. So plants, us absorbing vitamin D. So
Totally.
now they're like, they might view us in kind of the same way we view them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They're, we
100%.
think they're gods, but in their minds, they're like, oh my goodness, this is like the creator's chosen beings. They're so in touch with the universe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. We're going to now move on to sustenance, and we already know a lot about them, their sustenance here. Here are other complications for it. Consumption threats. Once again, we choose 2. They can subdue victims to consume their sustenance. Their consumption creates a harmful environment to the denizens of this world. They can go long periods without having sustenance. Their sustenance can only come from sapient life, and this world produces a particularly desirable variety of their sustenance.
So the obvious one is it causes a harmful environment, but I'm kind of tempted to do a classic like Superman Yellow Sun thing.
Totally.
Like we have a particular shade of sun that they find especially delicious.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and our atmosphere filters it in a way
Yeah.
too. Which what they
Yeah.
can't just set up on the moon or one of the other planets.
Yeah, it's
in
not the
orbit.
sun, it's the ozone layer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their like mealtime is like sunset and sunrise when the colors are like
When
a
the
specific
wavelengths
ray.
are longer.
Yeah.
It's about length of wavelength?
Sure.
That's
Ooh.
that's
Here
kind
we
of fun.
go.
Red at night, Star Conqueror's delight.
All right. So then
That was too polite a laugh, but thank
I
you.
did
TT
I
Benjamin.
did no, I was thinking red in the morning Star Conqueror's morning.
Ah.
Well, and you should also take warning at night too. There are Star Conquerors around. They're fucking dangerous. They're so
It's not good.
scary.
It's not good.
Yeah, so I think consumption creates a harmful environment for denizens of this world. Like that's so baked into their DNA.
Yeah.
Then consumption limitations. We're once again choosing 2. Undernourished Star Conquerors will enter a dormant or berserker state. They require special equipment or refinement in order to feed. Their reproduction depends on larger quantities of their sustenance. They cannot store what they consume. There is a way to taint or corrupt what they consume.
Well, there is a way to taint or corrupt what they consume. Wait till nighttime. Right? Like, we're not corrupting the light unless we're blocking the light.
Well, I mean, you pointed out like water, like can fuck with them.
Totally.
Because of the way it prisms light. So then I think, yeah, like.
But
even
I
the
also
lens it weird.
I also think they cannot store is why they keep having to come back every day.
Sure.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, if they could store it, they'd gather a huge ton of it. But what's going to happen is when it's eventually gone, they have to move to the next planet.
Yeah.
Oh, the 100 years of darkness or whatever that they cast on that civilization, was that like a continuous feeding engine that like when
Yeah.
the cosmic blade it broke it?
Pierced it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe they
Okay.
don't have another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was extremely costly to them for that to have been broken. Like
Yeah.
they had to
Yeah.
get some dedicated ritual people to just maintain that, and then the blade screwed up the whole thing, and they lost some important people.
Yeah.
I like the idea that there is, especially because water is the substance. There's like a particular crystal structure of water that was essential to cause that over such a wide area that was just shattered by the cosmic
Yeah.
Mhm.
blade. Okay. Questions around this. What needs to be killed, destroyed, or harvested to produce Star Conqueror sustenance? So we know that they're taking the light, and we know that this somehow diminishes the sun in a way that is different from just the sun burning off its own energy.
I was actually thinking about this earlier, so I'm glad that it came up as a question, because what I was curious about was, is the light that they're consuming a renewable source? So really what's going to suck for them is when the star dies in 100 billion years. Or are they pulling, is it like the movie Sunshine, where the sun is dying and maybe their consumption of it causes that death, somehow it pulls more from the sun than it gives out every day, making it no longer a renewable source, not unlike oil to us now, right? And is it therefore somehow that the sun is having to work harder because the light is being taken, shortening the lifespan of the sun?
When you talked about them eating light, during the solar eclipse that we had recently, there is a period where the eclipse is really starting, where the whole world looks weirdly gray, like all of the color is drained out of things and whatnot. What if that's what happens? Like it's just pulling light and color out of things, and left to their own devices, eventually it's going to get used up. And so the special thing about like the atmosphere and the wavelengths and whatnot of the sun is it creates this lens that gives them a direct pathway to feeding off of the sun.
Totally.
And it can result in like localized events where an entire like 25-mile square radius would be completely like grayscale.
Yeah.
And or various like different tonal shifts. Like you can tell just how intense their activity is based on like how much color you can perceive. But it is also, because it's kind of a global warming parallel as well, it is also causing severe localized extreme weather patterns.
Totally.
That you can trace back to like swarms of these guys. Like if there's a particularly beautiful sunrise, they'll all swarm over there like it's a buffet and completely drain the color from an area, and then all of a sudden it's tornado season.
I have a weird idea that might really not be the way. So both of you tell me if it's time to pull back from this one. But I was thinking about length of day, like when you have 24-hour daytime in Alaska and things like that. And I was thinking about like, what if the power that they are using is altering the axis of the planet in its relation to the sun so that they are in light, causing other places to be in darkness, right? Like,
yeah.
How does that work?
I like the idea that they have the ability to affect the orbit or wobble of the planet, because like part of the threat could be they're making days and nights faster so that they have more periods of twilight and sunrise, you know?
Totally.
There's all sorts of wild stuff they could be doing.
And then there are selfish kings who are like working with them to say like, hey, we'll give you this and this if you bathe our kingdom in more sunlight for like X amount of time and screw over our rivals. Like there are people who are taking advantage of this scenario at the cost of their rivals, but also at the long-term just cost of the planet.
Well, like, so let's say then, prior to the arrival of the Star Conquerors, the whole planet rotated evenly, permanently. Days were permanently 12 and 12, right? Like, the way the planet, like, the way we interpreted days, there were no longer months, shorter months, right? Like, seasons were kind of non-existent. And the arrival of the Star Conquerors has introduced winter.
I like the idea that it's actually not even the Star Conquerors, it's the Cosmic Blade. Because it landed in the planet and introduced a wobble to our orbit. There's a big sword sticking out of there. Yeah, we got seasons now.
That's crazy.
Okay. The other detail is the atmospheric conditions. This is, I think, going to be pretty straightforward because we've already defined it a lot. Commonality. The atmospheric conditions that are harmful to Star Conquerors are common to specific regions. They are common to specific times. I think that's probably already the nug. They vary in intensity. These conditions are everywhere, but Star Conquerors have special equipment to deal with it. Star Conquerors are encountering these conditions for the first time on this world, and the detrimental aspects of these conditions take time to have a palpable effect on Star Conquerors.
I mean, this one's straight ahead. It's the time.
And
the light level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Love
I love when a plan comes together.
Yeah.
It's just it's like it writes itself.
It's almost like you design tables designed to push you down a path that takes you to an ending.
I mean, here's the thing. Y'all made the decisions. They could have very easily gone in different directions.
James, I've played a bunch of games that you've written with you before, and it always ends up that you have written very smart tables that push brains towards the things you were ready to push them towards.
I am not influencing the directions whatsoever. But there are ranges of possibilities, right? We can agree on that there are ranges.
Just
I
let
don't
us
have
call
a
you a really
predetermined
good designer.
destination.
Yeah, let us compliment you.
Yeah,
Hey,
Jesus.
hey, I need to acknowledge that you still have freedom within the I've just restricted your freedom to only good ideas. And that's what you're not used to.
What you've done is caused us to be creative by giving us a framework where we never get analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
That is definitely a part of how the system works.
If we give James one more compliment, do you think that he'll implode? Like, will...
You know what? If you really want to get at me, go and back the Kickstarter.
Yes, let's back the
That's how you get back at
that'll
him.
really stick it to me.
Tell him.
The other thing that we have here is sensitivity. So does the darkness, as we've established, cause pain or damage, alter their perception, alter their cognition, negatively impact important abilities or weapons that they have, affect their armor or protection, or get worse over time?
So we're saying it's not that darkness harms them, it's that their primary functionality of the reflection of light is reduced, causing their form to be more easily
physical.
perceived.
Yeah.
So it's either the armor, right? That's sort of like if we count the refraction as an armor, or it negatively impacts important abilities, right?
I think it negatively impacts their important swarming ability.
Yeah.
I think the swarming is really dependent on the refraction. And so because their form becomes more coherent, they lose one of their most important advantages over us.
Yeah.
Us, I live there. But you know what I'm saying.
No, I'm right on there with you. Is like it is that darkness fundamentally impacts the advantage they have. But it's not that it harms them, it's that it makes it easier for us to harm them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine, like, with mundane weapons, if you've just got swords and spears or whatever, you're only going to be able to do something to them at night. It's just not happening during the day.
Well, and that's what's interesting is I don't think it protects them physically. I think it's just harder to perceive, thereby making it more likely to miss. You know what I mean? Like, I think they are the same in light or dark, but the way we can interpret them and therefore attack them has been affected.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
It's like attacking a mist in some ways. Like,
Yeah.
it's not that they're not there, it's that we can't quite perceive where they are.
Or you don't know what the actual, like, bits that hurt them are, or bits that don't hurt them. Like,
Totally.
yeah.
All right. The very last thing that we are going to do as part of this is create some of the individual forces for Star Conquerors.
Yes.
And we're going to be starting with drones.
Ooh.
So these are like smaller minion type enemies. They are scouts, workers, and underlings to the Star Conquerors. These are usually small, but created in great numbers. For their abilities, you get to choose two, and they are Toper. Drones can hibernate in extreme conditions for long periods of time. They cannot be fought through attrition. Restraining. Drones can create a material that restricts movement, downgrading control with a partial bind and fully restraining with a full bind. Healing. Drones can heal other Star Conquerors given enough time. Legions. Star Conqueror drones are frontline infantry, giving them extra health and defense. Or infesting. A drone may sacrifice its life to infest a victim. That victim gains 1d4 poison per hour. When the victim dies, they become a soldier or lord.
Well, legions was my first instinct.
That makes the most sense. It's
Yeah.
got to be massive amounts of them. And I think that like they might not even ostensibly be soldiers. Um, these the like the what the legions, what the drones are just the natural like everyday personage that is the Star Conquerors,
Yeah.
and they're just out feeding. And if you alert them or engage them, they will go into just like sort of their natural defense mechanism and they'll fight back.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
But
Yeah.
like, from their perspective, these are civilians that are just out trying to have a meal. We
Well,
might
and
be over sympathizing these people a little
that's
too
what I
much,
mean.
but yeah,
I think it's really funny that this war is created truly by a lack of empathy for each other.
yeah.
Um, the so for the second one, then I don't think they create a material that restricts movement.
Mm-mm.
I don't think they poison. I don't think they're infesting. So I think it's Toper in the sense that extreme conditions in the resource that we're talking about is extreme heat, deserts, right? Like they can chill in extreme light in a way that might even be harmful and hard to the people of this planet. I think it's Toper if we assume the extreme condition is related to the resource they gather.
All right. Then they get a weakness. We're just choosing one here. They are either mindless, drones cannot think for themselves and only follow specific orders. Fragile, drones are capable of violence but not made for combat. Or sensory deficit. Choose a weakness for a sense that drones rely on and upgrade impact when PCs exploit that weakness.
Oh, that last one's really tempting though.
It's definitely not mindless.
Yeah.
No.
They have mind. They're obviously capable of violence, but made for combat. I don't think they're fragile. Sensory deficit. I mean, I think it's got to be that.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be sensory deficit, and I think it's that they can over-perceive in light, right? Like however they interpret light and see the world is just at a sharper and clearer level than we have in any capacity all the time, but it means we have to have a sense that they don't really. Maybe it's sound based.
I think that they cannot feel.
Mm.
Like they are incapable of detecting temperature changes, touch. I think they might not even feel pain the same way,
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
which would also explain the extreme conditions thing. Like they don't feel cold, they don't feel heat. That
Yeah.
is not a thing that affects them unless they're getting exploded by a fireball.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. We come down to world building questions for the drones specifically. And this first one, if I can find my cursor here, is what facial features do drones have too many of, and what facial features do they lack entirely?
Well, my question for you, Mr. Benjamin, is
Yes, sir.
when we can perceive them, i.e. at night when their form is silhouetted and natural, what is it?
I think it's still vaguely avian. I think they might even have a beak
Got it.
or multiple beaks. I think
Right.
they might have like sort of a two beak situation going on.
Uh-huh.
So when they move their head, you could either see two beaks jutting out like tusks, or from the silhouette, you just see the one beak.
Ah.
And there might even be like it might look like they have literally two faces, but it's one face. It's just aligned at like a 45-degree angle. So it's still mirrored like ours, but it's not centered like this. It's centered. What's the word? It's not centered bilaterally. It's centered a different way.
I mean, it's still symmetrical, just the symmetry is not north-south.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that way, the beaks definitely open east-west. Their mouths do that.
Oh, yeah. That's gross. Which means if we're going down the avian path, then the feature that they lack entirely is got to be ears, right?
Yeah,
you just can't see
totally.
their ears because they're birds.
And like I guess kind of knows, because either their nose is their mouth or their mouth is their nose.
Yeah.
They don't have a separate nose.
Right.
How do drones carry information to their superiors, and how do they communicate with each other? It sort of seems like they just talk, right?
I think they talk. I think they're a speaking being.
I think they also have a light network for translating across very long distances. Like they can refract, like you can just they can just
Like
take
smoke signals, but with light.
what with light, and they can just like the beacons are lit type stuff. They can be like, hey, pass the like by waggling a finger and refracting the light. They can be like, pass this along to Jeff, and then whoever
sort
sees
of
it
like
will make sure it gets to
semaphore.
Jeff.
Yeah, it's fun. They
Okay.
communicate. They communicate both verbally and visually.
Yeah, I like that. It sort of strikes me as they're terrifying because they have telegraph technology.
You know what it
yeah.
is? You know what it is? Like we use sound waves and light to pass along information through wire, right? Like that's just light transfer of data in the most simplified sense. But there's something really scary about being able to use light waves the way that we're trying to use refracted, you know what I mean? Like they are actually able to access the waveform of light in a way that we use other waveforms to do like Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah. When left unchecked, how do drones pose a threat to ordinary people? So these are the civilians just hanging out, but how do the civilians cause trouble?
I mean,
think-
I do think they fight back. Like I don't know that they're a group that comes in looking to maim, murder, and kill.
Right, but if someone attacks them, they'll defend themselves with prejudice.
Yeah.
But if you leave them too long, they will drain
They'll eat the
all of
light.
the color
Correct.
from like an area.
So like they are going to be taking away a life-giving resource if you leave them alone. And if you choose not to leave them alone, gear up, bucko.
Yeah.
Excellent. We're going to move on to the soldiers.
Yeah.
Soldiers are shock troops, the bulk of the Star Conqueror's invasion force. For abilities, you have the option of superior weapons. They can spend 1 to upgrade the upgrade impact dice on their attacks. Phalanx spend 3 as long as multiple soldiers are in close proximity. They gain 2 defense. Enhanced senses upgrade control and impact of soldiers when hunting, searching, or perceiving outside of darkness. Hardy, a single Star Conqueror soldier can take on many opponents with ease, giving them a bonus to their hit points. Pulse, soldiers can release a wave of 2d4 damage within a medium range by spending 4, or they can spend 6 to release a wave of 2d6 damage in close range.
Yeah, they weaponize light for
You
sure.
know they do.
You know they weaponize
they
light.
absolutely have a light explosion pulse thing.
And really what they're doing is giving you a sunburn, baby. That's just
Yeah.
refracting light to burn you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also a question I have is like so often when cultures do alien invasion stories, it's like a bug, right? Like it's like an ant, and there are overwhelmingly more of them than there are of us. Like I don't know that that's true here.
Sure.
Even though they're a swarming thing, I don't think they outnumber the beings on this planet.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea that maybe the entire Star Conqueror civilization is maybe thousands of beings.
Yeah, we could swarm them if we could get our act together and work together. But unfortunately, we already talked about how there's a planet side, there's a terrestrial war before we even deal with the
Yeah.
extraterrestrial problem.
And their communication, their ability to maintain contact with each other is so good
Oh, yeah.
that like they are always rolling together. Like
Oh.
if you are trying to attack a civilian feeding force, you can assume that enforcers are like 5 seconds away.
Yeah,
So-
it's like SWAT. They are the call-in force. But
They
here's
will
the
be
thing.
on top of you.
You know when their ability to keep in touch with each other sucks? nighttime.
Nighttime.
There isn't light to pass on wavelengths.
Yeah. So is this hardy or phalanx, do you think?
Oh, I was thinking they have the explosion thing.
Well, but you get to choose 2.
You get 2.
Oh, we get to choose 2.
So I think like human beings, when they fight alone, they are disadvantaged to fighting as a group. Therefore, I think phalanx is the answer.
All right.
Can they phalanx with civilians, or do they need to phalanx?
Yeah,
as
can
soldiers?
the drone count?
It's multiple soldiers. So
Okay.
Got it.
And maybe it's like an extraction thing. Like if they get in there and they know they're outnumbered and screwed, their goal is not to beat the enemy, it's to extract the civilians.
I think they're smarter than just like blindless fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Spooky. All right.
Because so many of those stories are, again, about like alien instinct. They're just bugs, but our humanness makes us better. They are just as human as we are.
Yeah.
In terms of like comprehension of thought.
And what we would do is if I was the leader of a shock squad trying to protect a bunch of civilians who were just trying to like do the harvest, I would be like, we got to get the civilians out of here, and then we're going to try to get out of here. And if we die but they don't, then that's a win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the weaknesses, the options are will-less. Soldiers cannot deviate from orders even when it is tactically necessary. Low quality. They simply have lower defense and hit points naturally. Or burdened. Upgrade the resource dice won from defeating these forces. So they're always walking around with riches.
I think it's low quality.
Oh, interesting.
I think like these are not beings that are inherently shock troopers. They're trained. So like there's no reason they have more hit points or less hit points than a drone. What they are is better fighters.
Right.
Sure. Oh,
I don't
like
view
that.
them as different beings, just different jobs.
So I have a different take.
Yeah, what you got?
And we can take this to the ring, baby.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'll fly over. See you in 17 hours.
See you in a bit.
My thinking is that I don't want to say like they're not actually mindless, but they are so committed. Like they take oaths, and because their society is so close knit, they will not deviate from orders. And this makes them extremely predictable because they have like patterns that they will do. Like, and if you are really used to fighting these people, you will know if we do this, they will respond XYZ way. And then if we do this in response, then they will respond XYZ way, and like that kind of thing.
I do love things with free will. It's just hard for me to make beings that act against their interest.
Right.
I kind of like the idea of low quality and just saying that, like, yeah, they're not especially tough. These are just the ones that are trained.
They just fight better. They're just guys. This is the MMA fighter. I'm not going to win, but technically we have all the same pieces.
Right.
And I think I'll close this out with... we've got questions for them. What signature weapons are used by soldiers? How are they similar to weapons that we know? What makes them strange or exotic?
Well, we know they use the opposite of shadow to Mass Effect, right? Like they bend and inflict light on us. And the light is often what harms us.
Yeah.
But I think they have to have a martial weapon as well.
I think that they use a sort of a crystalline mirror-like looking shield.
Yeah,
or at least we would call it a shield.
Yeah.
So it can refract light. It can actually be used as a protective edifice that they carry on their arm and or arms. They can use it to literally link shields together. And when they do like a shield wall, because once again, things are slightly not, I don't want to say amorphous, like they change, but they change the angle. The things are actually literally connected to each other.
Yeah.
And then when they do their light explosion, it turns into a dome over their head, and it's like, boom.
Yeah.
That's sick. God, Ned, you're going to be able to eat these guys.
I
Steal
know.
their lasers.
I know.
What What
Yeah, and I'm just like a werewolf.
You're just a werewolf with a cool surfboard. What strange traditions inform a Star Conqueror warrior's sense of honor?
Ooh.
I mean, this is maybe again, we're just making them too sympathetic, but I think they have culture. Like I
Of
think
course.
they have theater, they have music, they have general empathy for each other and their fellow being. Like they are like us. And so I think the only thing I would call strange about their traditions is that they aren't ours, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like they are us just with a different physiology from a different dimension. So the traditions would translate pretty perfectly. They're just strange because we can't comprehend them. And
Yeah.
so their code of honor is like take care of your fellow human being. You know what I mean? Like they are fighting for their species.
Yeah, so they would be like unwilling to leave their own behind.
Yeah,
and things like that.
it's the same reason people will dive into a lake to save a kid from a car, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just that is who they are for themselves.
And this question is interesting. How many mundane warriors are needed in order to take down a single Star Conqueror soldier?
Just one.
Just
Huh.
one.
Yeah, I think it's just one.
Just
you could
one.
do it. You could do it one-on-one. And you've got about a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that movie that came out with Nick Cage fighting the alien in was it just called like Kung Fu? It came out hold on, I'll find it. Anyway,
Okay.
Nicolas Cage hand-to-hand fights an alien and like once every 4 years, and that keeps the alien from bringing in to invade Earth because they're like, "Thank you for the fight."
I need to watch this.
It's called
film.
Jujitsu.
Isn't that part of the plot of Invincible?
So anyway, check out the movie Jujitsu.
I was not aware that there was a Mortal Kombat movie starring Nicolas Cage.
What's crazier too is that the way that the human on Earth who's decided to fight the alien is chosen is by a Mortal Kombat style tournament with just humans, and the winner gets to fight the alien. But it's like once every 3 years. It's not like every 200 years the alien shows up. Like once every 3 years, he's like, "Who's fighting me now?"
Wow, we have been on a
sounds so fun.
hot winning streak. That alien sucks at fighting.
Yeah, I think Frank Grillo goes up against him in this film.
Oh my god, I cannot wait to thank you for giving me.
You're
a
so
Cage
welcome.
film.
Watch the trailer first and love every second. Tony Jaa's in this movie. It's
Oh, I love Tony Jaa.
Tony
Yes.
Jaa, my
also Tony
friend.
Jaa doing Muay Thai in a movie called Jiu-Jitsu is also exceptional.
Delightful.
God.
It's like when the Karate Kid and Jackie Chan says everything is kung fu, and you're like, that's crazy because you're supposed to be teaching him karate.
I mean, they should have called that fucking movie The Kung Fu Kid, and it
Yeah.
kills me
Yeah.
that they didn't. Because it would have made the movie, unironically, it would have made the movie like a full point better. If it's like,
Yes.
we're not conflating Kung Fu and karate, we're just letting it be its own thing. Regardless, I'm going to close this out by making one more force, and that is the
Okay.
captains.
Yeah.
So these are like the elite warriors of the Star Conquerors. And for abilities, the options are, once again, choosing 2. Superior weapons, spending 1 to upgrade. Hardy, a single Star Conqueror captain, can take on many opponents. This gives them an enormous bonus to hit points, effort, and defense. Blazing Stars. Spend 6 to fill an area within medium range around you with motes of plasma. Anything moving through that area must make a control and impact roll to do so safely. If they fail, they take 2d4 plus 2 fire damage. Their control result is 6 or greater. Remove 1d4 from the damage roll. And if their result is 10 or greater, negate it entirely. Reflective Pain. Spend 4 for 1 round, deal half of all damage dealt to you back to opponents. And Light Speed. Spend 5 to gain an extra initiative action in each round until the end of the scene.
Yes to all.
Yeah.
I could make any one of those fit perfectly.
Yeah, 100%. How many do we choose? Just one?
Two.
Two.
Okay, I'm gonna throw in on Hardy. I think that
I agree.
I really like the idea of like if a captain is involved, this is a one-man army.
But they're not physiologically better. They're just, you know what I mean? Like they have trained for this, therefore they went to the gym harder, so they're stronger.
Well,
But again, I don't think they're born.
It's
just
how they are
so
using
skilled.
what is manifested in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I wholeheartedly agree on Hardy, so long as we're not saying there's like 3 different types of being.
Right. Yeah, no. And maybe they even are maybe like they are so skilled and so experienced and maybe have like spent time coalescing. Like maybe they're like literally the only ones that usually wear an actual kind of armor that works on this planet.
Oh, sure.
Well, and I'm gonna throw in for light speed, 1, because it has the word light, but 2, I'm gonna justify it by if you're traveling at light speed, the concept of time dilates. That's the whole point of Einstein's theory of relativity. So in that regard, because they utilize light in a way we can't fathom, they gain extra initiative ability because they literally are moving somehow in a way that dilates the time needed to perform the action.
I like that a lot. That is a super terrifying enemy already. For their weakness, let me just take off that. For the weakness, the options are, and we're only choosing one here, arrogant. Captains do not see anything apart from forces of the Blight Labyrinth as dangerous and underestimate their foes. Linked minds. Killing a captain immediately halves hit points for all drones and soldiers under that captain's command.
It's not Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Glory Hog. If given the chance to betray an ally for advancement or promotion, the captain will always capitalize on that opportunity. And I need them alive. This captain forbids forces from killing opponents of significant strength and always insists on capturing them alive.
Wow. I love Glory Hog because it comes back to the idea of free will. Right? It comes back to they're just flawed people who have been climbing a ladder and damn it, they're going to keep climbing.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting. Arrogant didn't quite connect with me because I think they have viewed the blades as a problem.
Sure.
So it wouldn't just be the Blight Labyrinth. And I don't think it's Linked Minds because then it's just Edge of Tomorrow or
like
Power Rangers or
of...
whatever. The thing from Wizard of Oz 2.
So yeah, it's Glory Hog and I Need Them Alive between them.
I love both, but for me, I think it's Glory Hog. Benjamin, how do you feel?
I'm actually leaning hard on arrogant. I think the only reason one of these guys would show up, I think there's very few of them, vanishingly few. Like if we're talking this is a civilization of thousands, not millions, then we're talking maybe there's a dozen captains in total. And
well, I can tell you there are more powerful beings that could manifest in this force. So I will say that probably we're looking at hundreds of captains. It is not a significant amount.
Oh, then I'm all in on Glory Hog. If this is not the pinnacle, then I'm all in on
because they're
Glory
trying
Hog,
to get to the next
they're trying
level.
To get to that next level. Yeah, exactly.
This is not an army based on physiology. It's literally career advancement.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take you all the way through it, but there are lords and terrors that sit above captains. I just don't want to take too much of everybody's time. For questions, though, we get to choose 2 questions to answer for the captain. And the questions are, what differentiates this captain from the forces that serve under them? How does it make them seem more alien? What odd fascination does this captain have with something from this planet? How is it apparent in their appearance? This captain has a unique weapon that you have never seen before on this planet. They always explain it before they use it. what makes it terrifying.
Yes.
This captain insists that they regret violence. How is their mercy worse than their brutality against other beings? This captain fixates on a member of your group, seeing them as superior to the others. What do they want this superior specimen to do? And this is where captains obviously have a more individual personality than the generic questions that we had for soldiers. And
James, these
drones.
prompts.
These are A+.
Such good prompts. I got to do the weapon thing. And here's the thing in mind.
I was totally with you on weapon.
I think the captain has created a sort of light crystalline-based facsimile of one of the Century Blades.
Oh!
And announces its superiority to the Century Blades before wielding it against a Century Blade wielder.
That's so sick.
I'm gonna
that
jump.
Would be mine, yeah. But
I'm gonna jump then on because I'm all in. I think, like any good career military person, they regret violence. They're there for peace.
Yeah.
And I think, how is their mercy worse than the brutality of against other beings? I think they say, we don't want to be fighting you, but we have to protect ourselves from you.
Mm-hmm.
So when they have the opportunity, they will remove your ability to perceive light at all. They take the eyes.
Whoa!
Ugh, yeah.
Wow.
Then there's no positive or negative here. All time of day, you're at a disadvantage to them.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And they'll tell you.
Man.
They'll tell you openly. Like it's sort of like Chiwetel Ejiofor in Serenity, right? Like he doesn't want to be like this, but he's got to in order to protect peace.
Yeah.
Good Lord. This captain, I'm adjusting the stats right now. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
I wonder if he also has
him against somebody.
I also wonder if he has just a bit of an obsession with the cultures and people of the planet that he fights.
Sure.
Like
He loves going and sitting and watching amphitheater.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know what? He definitely has an obsession, but it's with that fucking Rome analog that they destroyed in the first place. That's all he knows.
Totally. The fall of the Roman Empire is his Roman Empire.
Yeah. God. Oh. Yeah, that's spectacular. We're at 351. As much as I want to make you folks make a terror, I think we're golden here. Ned, Ben, I can't thank you enough. What I'm going to unleash against the people who are signed up for our later streams to play the game.
I can't wait to watch
I
them.
am just thrilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love these are the most sympathetic Star Conquerors that we've ever had because like I truly think they are beings lost in this dimension, and if they're able to consume enough light, they might be able to create a bridge back to their home world, but they have to destroy civilizations to do that.
I also think what's fun about them is you could flip the script and make them the protagonists and the Century Knights are the antagonists in their story.
Sure.
They aren't just mindless antagonists. They exist with love and hopes and dreams.
Yeah. These are normally like it's just this is very much an invading army or an alien infection type thing. The fact that we've got these light-based weirdos is so delightful to me. Once again, please tell folks, Ned, where can they find you and your work? How can they support you?
Well, yeah. Hey, everybody. Once again, I'm Ned Donovan. I'm an actor, singer, producer, writer, all around the entertainment industry. I'm currently producing a podcast that hasn't been announced, but will be soon. That's going to be really cool, and it's going to, every once in a while, feature some of your favorite TTRPG people, including from the One Shot Network. Dylan Appelian is a guest on it at one point. I am also a series regular on and co-creator / executive producer of Encounter Party, the official Dungeons & Dragons television show available on demand right now on Tubi, Roku, and Plex. It is an hour-long broadcast format television show told through the actual play medium where 7 actors improvise a fantasy mystery thriller in real time by playing Dungeons & Dragons on a soundstage. Check it out. You can also support my work by just coming to see theater shows that I'm in when I'm in them, which means if you want to know more about that, follow me everywhere at Ned Donovan. Unless you find a British guy who doesn't look like me, that's a British journalist who happens to be more famous than me. How dare he? And every once in a while,
you can support him as well, I guess.
He's a
I
cool
don't know what
guy.
he's written.
But so Ned Donovan almost everywhere, at Ned Donovan 13 on Twitch and TikTok. NedDonovan.com has all my links. Come say hi.
And Ben.
Hey, everybody. I'm TT Benjamin. I'm the host and showrunner of the Game Woven podcast, part of the One Shot Network. The Game Woven podcast is a collaborative world-building podcast where we daisy-chain world-building role-playing games in one contiguous world. We are working on kind of the final arc of our first campaign now, so now's a good time to get in. We've played well over a dozen games and 92 total episodes of world building, and still have way more to go. So it's very exciting to be here. I'm also the creator of Adversary, which we just built some villains. Adversary is a kind of a descendant from the Queen game, where you play out the final battle of a campaign, and the card prompts are flashbacks to moments in that campaign. So you can check that out on Drive-Thru. Thank you very much, James. This has been a pleasure. I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And folks, if you enjoyed this, and we're still before the Kickstarter, you can always head over to Kickstarter, search for Cosmic Century Nights, and sign up to be notified as soon as that project goes live. You will not only be able to support Cosmic Century Nights, you will have the opportunity to get Homecoming as well. If you missed Megan's broadcast earlier, Megan Cross designed Homecoming, which is a wonderfully, I want to say, serene is the wrong word. It's a contemplative mystery game that has like a lot of wistfulness and grieving. It's very haunted and sorrowful. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing that I could not be prouder to have my project standing alongside it, and I hope we push each other to new heights with the audiences that we're bringing in for each other. Please, when the Kickstarter goes live, support both. And there's a chance that you're watching this video on demand. Starting September 2nd, that Kickstarter is live. Please head over, support that Kickstarter. It would mean the world to me to be able to make this game a physical reality, and we can only do that with your help. And I hope seeing this antagonist creation process has inspired you to do that, because I think everything about setting up this game is so cool, and the mechanics don't get in its way. Everything that you set up is going to be as beautiful and pay off as it was in putting it together. With that, we're done. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.